Retro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Retro Ghetto. I have got a parcel to open and I don't want to wait any longer. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? This was a purchase I made via the Ghetto gang. This was listed on there on the Discord for a very reasonable price. It's like an unwritten rule that everything on the Discord goes for mates rates. And this was certainly no exception. We've also got a note here, which I'll be putting on screen. This came from my friend Holly. Shout out to Holly. She's also got a fantastic Instagram page, Holls Toys. Make sure you go and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Some amazing stuff that she displays on there. But yes, let's just get straight into it, shall we? So you guys will know I've been on a big PlayStation 1 kick as of late. And that sort of came about in an almost reverse engineered way. I actually started collecting PlayStation 1 bizarrely by selling the vast majority of my collection. There was a time where I still stand by the fact CEX made a mistake. They put all their prices up on PS1 and therefore the trade-in prices went through the roof, and a lot of those games just weren't worth that. They weren't selling for that on eBay, and I took advantage. I thought, right, I'm kind of done with PlayStation 1 and I massively thinned out my collection. I took everything out that I wasn't sort of enamored with or I didn't think I'd play going forwards, traded it all in, and lo and behold, less than 2 weeks later, CEX had realised their mistake and dropped all the prices back down. So I definitely made the right decision, but there was one series of games that I regretted selling. It then led to the all killer no filler mentality, so my PlayStation 1 collection has never looked better. But, like I say, there was definitely a couple of games from one franchise which I regretted letting go. And today we can put that right with this fantastic collector's edition copy of Grand Theft Auto. So this collector's edition contains 2 games and, well, basically 3 games, I guess. It contains 1997's original Grand Theft Auto. It then contains what was the equivalent of back then a DLC pack. So it was like the London DLC pack, if you like. So it was like, I think London set in the 1970s, a really interesting, unique take on the Grand Theft Auto franchise. And it also contains Grand Theft Auto 2. Now, just looking at this now, it has got a few scratches on the front, which I was aware of, but this will probably be displayed on its side anyway. The side art's fantastic, and like I say, the price I got this for, yeah, and in hand it's beautiful. It's a real sort of like nice foil embossed, and yeah, just absolutely delighted with this. And as I say, I had Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto London, I believe, as part of those ones that I traded in. So to have all of these now, as well as Grand Theft Auto 2, yeah, could not be happier with that. And there's not many of these sort of like cardboard collector's editions on the PlayStation 1, so anytime that I can pick them up, just recently we picked up that Metal Gear Solid, so yeah, delighted to be able to add this to my PlayStation 1 cardboard collection as well. So massive shout out once again to Holly for that. And this got me thinking, because there's a PlayStation 1 collection, or collection of games, should I say, that I've been wanting for a long time, and I decided to have a look on the CEX app, see what was available, and there is one of these games available localish to me, so let's go on a game hunt, shall we? Okay, so I've made it to Ilkeston, and the reason I'm here is because there's a PlayStation 1 game that's shown as being in stock that is going to kickstart a collection I've been thinking about doing for quite some time. Even before I started focusing on PlayStation 1, this was a set that I'd always wanted to own, but it can get quite expensive. But let's go and get this one first, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so job done as far as CEX is concerned. Got the bag, right? So I managed to pick up the game that I came for. Obviously, we'll get to that when we get back. But directly opposite is game. There's also like a cash converters and stuff. So it'd be rude not to, right? When in Rome. Okay, so before we take a look at what I picked up from game, I know, I'm as shocked as you are that I bought something from game, and it's a good find as well. We'll get to that in a minute. I want to share with you what I picked up from CEX, the reason I actually went to Ilkeston in the first place. So as you guys know, it's a PlayStation 1 game, and that is Street Fighter The Collection Volume 2. This 1998 Capcom compilation contains Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, and you guessed it, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. As well as having those 3 games, you have 3 playable options as well. You can play this in arcade mode, head-to-head. It also comes with quite a comprehensive training for each game, which I always like, especially with one-on-one fighters, right? As well as that, it also comes with like a gallery, so you can go through all the concept art and all that kind of stuff. And whilst I don't usually bother with those sort of things, I do make an exception for Street Fighter. I absolutely adore the franchise. I love the artwork, I love the figures, the standees, t-shirts, pretty much you name it, I collect it, right? So that is something that I will be delving into. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed that this is the Value series, or the Virgin Interactive white label, as you can see. But I'd gone all that way. I just wanted the game. Thankfully, the spine is still standard, so it will display correctly. And I don't know, I might switch this out at some point. But one of my other Street Fighter games that I already own is also one of these Value series ones as well. So to my knowledge, there's 11 Street Fighter games on the PlayStation 1, and I believe I now have 4. Some of them do get very expensive, so it should be a fun journey trying to complete it all, especially if I am going to switch a couple of these out as well from the Value series and try and get the standard black label with nice condition boxes, right, which is also getting harder and harder to do on the PlayStation 1. But yeah, it's definitely a journey that I'm excited about. I absolutely love the franchise, so yeah, it should be a fun one. And as soon as I got back, I used my remaining vouchers to order another Street Fighter PlayStation 1 game, and there was only 1 copy in stock. So fingers crossed that turns up, and it turns up the way I want it to, and we'll find out on Sunday's vlog. So make sure you keep it locked to the channel for that one. But yeah, all in all, happy to have another Street Fighter game for my PlayStation 1 collection, but let's get back to the hunt.
Code in the box.
Yeah, Cocomelon's not the one I wanted though.
No. It will say on the box if it's CIB or not. But you can also mix match with like cases that are 2 for 20 as well.
How do you mean, sorry?
So say for example you wanted Rayman.
Yeah.
And then you wanted a Hogwarts Legacy case.
Oh, right, these cases, sorry.
Yeah,
Got you, yeah. Alright, Sam, mate, appreciate it.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so it's been a long time since I've had a pleasurable experience at a game store. Yeah, more often than not, I come out and I'm bemoaning the state of game and don't know why I bother going in, but this was very much the exception. And the reason being is the guy that was working there, he's been there years. He was telling me he's been there since game began, really. Just a great guy. I had a good chat with him. He hooked me up, asked about a game which wasn't on the shelves. He went in the back, he found it for me. It's got the big box version, it was on sale. So yeah, just all round a pleasurable experience. I think there's 1 or 2 pawn shops now to check out. And yeah, then we're going to head back because I picked up some really nice stuff. So yeah, man, let's go. Right, so after game I headed to a pawn shop. There wasn't really nothing in there grabbing my eye, and I also hit up a couple of local charity shops. I did pick up 2 Xbox 360 games, nothing special, just games I didn't think I had for my existing 360 collection. But it has to be said that the star of this hunt has to be game, and yeah, I mean, like most games, this one was full of toys and trinkets and rubbish and a lot of things that aren't associated with video games, right? But it just shows that the staff can make the experience, and I think I touched upon it in the footage that I really enjoyed my short experience in game because the guy that was working there was so friendly, so knowledgeable, and yeah, we had a real good chat about video games, the state of game as a company, and yeah, it was really interesting, a real insight into that company and where it's currently at, because it's very testing times for game as it stands. But all that aside, the pickup. So this is a game I've wanted for quite some time, and it wasn't on the shelves. So I asked him, I said, do you have this game? And he said, I think we do. And he went in the back and he pulled out not only the game I've been after, but a big box version of it, sealed, perfect condition. So once again, massive shout out to the staff member at Ilkeston Game. And that is Tunic. So this is a 2022 isometric viewpoint action adventure game developed by Isometric Corp. It's set in a ruined fantasy world. You control an anthropomorphic fox on a journey to free a fox spirit. Now, I'm a huge fan of Zelda, right? In particular, like Link to the Past and a lot of the older Zelda titles, and you can clearly see that this game is a love letter to some of those early Zelda titles. And yeah, once you throw in a talking animal, I grew up with those guys, right? I grew up with platformers of the 90s, anthropomorphic characters, right? It just gives me that sort of like nostalgic hit. So put all that together in a shiny Nintendo cardboard box, I'm sold, right? So yeah, this is a game that I've been wanting to add to my collection for quite some time. It's just either never been the right price or it's not been the big box version of it. So yeah, today the planets aligned on what was a very impromptu game hunt, and I couldn't be happier because yeah, this is one that I'm going to be playing very, very soon. Heard very good things about it from the people I know that have played through it. From my understanding, it's not an easy game. This isn't sort of your standard action platformer where you just run through and just slash your sword and that's it, you're on to the next one. I think it's there's a bit more to it than that. I think the enemies do have different attack methods, and I think you're going to have to block, parry, dodge, all that good stuff. This is probably as close as I'll ever get to a Souls game. Which says a lot more about me as a gamer than it does about the game itself. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you've played this one. And yeah, it's one of them, right? This was a very impromptu game hunt, and sometimes they're the best ones. I've come home with retro, with a nice bit of modern, and both the systems that I'm currently and actively collecting for. So really, really happy with that. And yeah, I love a little game hunt like this. It just, even all these years later, and all these years and all these episodes into filming game hunts, I still love it as much as the first time and before I, got on YouTube. And yeah, I don't know, hopefully I'll continue to love it, because as long as you guys keep watching, I'm going to keep making them. And that takes me nicely into my final point. I just want to give a massive thank you for all 20,000 of you that are now subscribed to the channel. Never thought I'd find myself in a position where I have so many people watching, subscribing, following and supporting the channel. And yeah, it genuinely means a lot. And like I say, you guys keep watching, I'll keep making it. But as always, play your games, keep it retro, and I'm going to see you on Sunday for a very special vlog. In a bit.
You're watching the Retro Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto!
Yeah.